let's say, for example, you were living in a different universe. Okay, let's call it planet Earth hashtag number two. All right, where the goal,
So
the goal,
original.
yeah, very original. The goal is to feel anxiety. That's the only thing you're living for. Is how can I feel the most anxiety? And that's what you
Um,
want to do, right? Let's just say,
How do I get to that place?
how do you feel as
Be the
much anxiety
emperor.
as possible? That's the goal. Like, let me feel more anxiety. This goes beyond like the poker run bad. The poker run bad, there's a very easy solution. If you're worried about running bad, spend all that fuel, all that worry energy into studying more and getting better. The anxiety is a little bit more challenging. Obviously, reading one mindset book is not going to cut it. Reading three mindset books is not going to cut it. You need to really delve deep into that. If you're someone that feels a lot of anxiety all the time, maybe some therapy, a lot of reading, stoicism practices, YouTube videos. There has to be like a lot of things that have to be done to alleviate that. And if you are somebody that feels a lot of anxiety, you can't expect to get to a place where you're not feeling any. Okay, that's number one. I would say don't expect to not feel any anxiety. You can go from feeling this much down here, but don't expect to go to zero because that's quite unrealistic. And then once you feel a little bit of anxiety, now you're feeling more anxiety because like, why am I feeling anxiety? And it just spirals out of control. So there's a lot of solutions for that, but you have to put in the time and work. Are you willing to or not?
I mean, I'm willing to put in the time and work, but I'm going to need to see some immediate results, I think, in order to keep me from losing my shit.
Immediate
What happens
results?
if I don't? What, what,
Yeah.
what happens if I don't? What happens if this carries on for like another 2, 3 weeks? I can't take it.
You know what I would say here? I would say you need to get used to dealing with the anxiety. You need to get used to tolerating the anxiety better. So, in a lot of books, when they talk about anxiety, they talk about when you feel it, stop trying to act like you're not feeling, or stop trying to get rid of it. Stop trying to resist that feeling of anxiety. Like, oh no, I don't want to feel this. Like it's some scary, horrific thing. You know, there's a guy I follow on YouTube. He says, not about anxiety, but he says it's about sadness, but it can be directly for anxiety as well. So let's say let's say, for example, you were living in a different universe. Okay, let's call it planet Earth hashtag number two. All right, where the goal,
So
the goal,
original.
yeah, very original. The goal is to feel anxiety. That's the only thing you're living for. Is how can I feel the most anxiety? And that's what you
Um,
want to do, right? Let's just say,
How do I get to that place?
how do you feel as
Be the
much
emperor.
anxiety as possible? That's the goal. You're like, let me feel more anxiety. And he says something funny happens then. If your goal is to feel more anxiety and you're trying to feel as much anxiety as you can, and you're so happy when you feel the anxiety because you're like, yes, I feel it now. This is the goal.
Hmm.
What happens is the anxiety just runs through your body and it just flushes out. The reason why we hold on to that anxious feeling is because we don't want it to be there and we're trying to get rid of it and we're trying to resist it, right? You're trying to resist it. You're trying to not feel it. You're like, how do I get this out of my body? And that's what makes you feel anxious. If anxiety was the goal, like happiness is the goal, right? In normal human life, you want to feel happy. What if you change your mindset to, I want to feel as much anxiety as possible. When I feel anxiety, it makes me feel alive. It makes me feel like I'm thriving. And then you just feel more and more anxiety, right? And you're like, here it comes. Like this is amazing. You change your relationship to the anxiety. It becomes your friend, right? You accept it into your
Hmm.
body. You're like, oh, this is kind of nice. This is a good feeling. What happens is it vanishes without you even wanting it to vanish. That's what's funny. If you try to hold on to a certain feeling, it's gonna go away. You know, if you're trying to like, if you're really trying to hold on to that thing, it magically just
But
vanishes.
it's going to take me at least a couple weeks to really familiarize myself with the stuff. Should I play
This
in
is,
the meantime, or should I take a few days off? Or
I would play because the goal is to be as anxious as possible. Make that your goal. Like, and for people watching this, by the way, this isn't like a. You shouldn't look at this as like some kind of trick. What you should be looking at this as is any emotion that comes up in your body and your mind. Let it happen. Be with it, feel it, appreciate it. Most importantly, accept it into your body. Let it happen, accept it, befriend it, okay? Befriend that feeling. Be best friends with that feeling. Be best friends with your anxiety. Let your anxiety come and just like hang out with it and be like, "Oh, these sensations are kind of cool." You know, it feels like my heart is aching and like my stomach feels weird. Like, oh, this is kind of nice. So, like, welcome. You know, how's it going? Be friends with it instead of just being like, "Oh my God, I feel this anxiety. How can I get rid of this?" When you're trying to get rid of something, you're actively resisting it. And we know the saying, it's a gajillion years old. Whatever you resist will persist. Facts. All right? And sometimes the thing is, when you're feeling like anxiety over a prolonged period of time, without realizing it, you're trying to get rid of it and resist it. But once you switch that mindset and like, you know what, you lay down, you're just like, I want to feel this. I'm so happy this is here. And I don't want to get rid of it. If I feel this for a month straight, I'm totally okay with it. If you can get to that point where you're like, if this anxiety comes up, I can feel this for 1 month straight, and I'm totally good with that, there's no problem, then what's going to happen is you'll notice that it's going to vanish without you even realizing it at some point. But if you're trying to actively make it vanish, it won't vanish. That's the thing. This is a very, it's, you know, I know it sounds weird. It sounds really weird. It sounds really weird, but if somebody's anxious and you give me like 10 to 15 minutes with that person, I'm very confident that at the end of that, I can help them vanish that anxiety. As long as they're open to listening and believing what I say, in 10 or 15 minutes, somebody really anxious, we can vanish it. We do it all the time in our sessions in an hour and a half. Vanish the anxiety. You're anxious at the beginning of the session. By the end, there's nothing there. What happened? Nothing changed. You're still running bad. Everything's still terrible. The only thing that changed is the mindset, right? Like when we have those sessions, Scott, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have those
I know what you're
mindset
talking
sessions.
about.
In the beginning, people are feeling horrible. An hour and a half later, all of a sudden, they're in like one of the best moods of their lives. And nothing changed. Actually, except their perception, right? Nothing actually changed. They still had the -8 chip view, whatever it was, like nothing really changed besides your perception. So your perception controls everything, really. So you got to get better. Like everyone should be working on that inner game, really. That's what I like to call it. Their inner, you know, whatever you want to call it. But yes, I would send you off with that. Like in terms of the pre-grind, we're going to talk about the grind in a second, but that's what I'll send you off with. So just to recap the pre-grind stuff, study harder, because if you study harder, you're going to have less bad days. Facts, you know, if your overall HIVV is higher, you're going to have less bad days. So study as much as you can. Go off, read mindset books, not just on poker. You should read poker mindset books too, but read life mindset books. Get into stoicism, get on YouTube, get into that stuff. And this is not like a thing where you do for 2 months and you stop. This is a consistent thing. You have to just continue on with it, right? Those 3 things, and then change your relationship to anxiety completely. Stop looking at it as if it's a bad thing. Start looking at it like it's an amazing thing. It's a hard mindset shift to make,
It
That
is.
where you're like, you know what? I want to feel anxiety. I love the anxiety. And I want to feel it, and I want to feel as much of it as possible. So if playing more and running bad makes me feel more anxious, I'm more than happy to do it. Let's do that. If I feel anxious for a month, excellent. Go with it, befriend it, stop resisting it. I promise you, any time in your life where you felt prolonged anxiety, you've been trying to, get rid of it. You're with the mindset of like, how can I get rid of this? Stop it. Don't get rid of it. Accept it, love it, feel it, befriend it, and accept it. Challenge yourself to do that every single time you feel anxiety. With no expectations. Don't expect anything to go away or vanish either. Don't even expect it. It might vanish, I'm just telling you, but don't expect it, or don't go in with the goal of like, don't go in with the goal of, I'm trying to get rid of this, or I'm trying to not feel this. Go in with the goal of, I want to feel as much of this as possible. I want to feel as much anxiety as I can, and I want to just sit with it, notice it in my body, wherever you feel it. Maybe your chest tightens up, maybe you feel a little bit of pain, maybe your stomach gets in a knot or whatever, maybe throat. I don't know. Everyone feels their anxiety in slightly different ways. There's all kinds of physical anxiety symptoms.